Hey guys, it's me, Jimmy's Customs, back again with some more figures. And today I've got my custom Beatles figures, and these are based on the Hey Jude music video, because a couple of customizers online I've seen, like the Moose Figs and Lego 9 both did sets of Beatles. So I wanted to make my own, and I thought I didn't just want to make them straight in their black and white tuxedos, because they all look pretty standard and like you couldn't really tell them apart that much, which I might do in the future because it might be a cool way if I can figure out a way how to differentiate them in their looks. So some of them, like their printed faces, I've just modified, and other ones I've like fully painted the faces for. So let's get right on to, I'm gonna go left to right, first starting with John. Well, with the John Lennon figure, I'll start from the bottom up. So with the, I'll take the guitar out of his hand. It's just a Lego guitar in white. From the feet, what I did with the feet is I just took black legs and painted white on them for the shoes, because I'm pretty sure he had white. Like, this was like, the photos weren't exactly that clear because I had to find like different clips, because like I looked at a couple different ones. Their outfits from Hey Jude were probably my favorite and the coolest looking ones that I could find that actually had some like more pictures for it. Like, I remember I was scouring through YouTube and the internet and I found like a pretty good shot of like most of them. Then up from the legs we've got the torso. You can't really see it too well, but I'll zoom in. With the torso, what I've done right is I've taken like I can't remember which torso it was, but it had a black vest and a light blue shirt, right? And what I did actually with that is I sculpted a really thin vest on, so you can't really tell it's there, but it turned out really good looking, I reckon. Then what I did is I sculpted a little belt that was also on there that I couldn't really see in the actual photo, but I thought it was already on the torso anyways, and I thought it looked good, so I sculpted that little belt, painted that silver. I sculpted a little bow tie, that was hard to do, and then I sculpted the sleeves onto the arms, and I've repainted all the blue sections, because originally I had all the same blue color, but then I looked at the pictures and it was a bunch lighter. I also painted the bow tie red originally, but it turns out it's orange, so yeah, that was a thing that I had to do, which took a bit, but yeah, it was good. What I did for the head, right, is I bought this Harry Potter set, which I'm not really into Harry Potter that much, but, well, the set had some good parts in it, which I was getting that, it came with, the character was called Sirius Black or something, but he had that, hairpiece I'm going to use for my Bucky Barnes figure. So yeah, I got in that some other parts, right, one of them was this head, right, and I realized, like, if I just erase the scar, it would look quite a bit like John Lennon, I reckon, in my opinion. And so what I did was I erased that scar, repainted the eyebrows, and then I went over the glasses because they were completely clear. I went over them a little bit of white primer paint to give it like a lens look, like a reflection look, so then it wasn't just completely clear. For the hair, I don't know if it looks like, some people said it looks like a bit too much like a girl's hairpiece, and like doesn't really look like John Lennon's hair too much, but like but then other people said they really liked it, and I liked how it came out. Pretty much this was going to be my Captain Marvel hairpiece. Spoilers, it's not really spoilers. In Endgame she gets a different haircut, that's kind of spoilers, whatever. And so then I had to change up the haircut because I was making it for Endgame, not her own solo movie, right? And then so yeah, then I repainted it brown and put all these little gold highlights in it, like to make it look like real hair light. Like how hair's like kind of shiny, I don't know. So yeah, that looked good. And then what I did right is I took, before I move on about talking that, I actually took this hairpiece, because I had a bunch of, I had a couple Scarlet Witch figures from Marvel, and I don't know where this hairpiece originally came on, but this is the hairpiece, just on a random painting body I use for paint work. I don't know if that's really... But yeah, that's the hairpiece, and pretty much what I did is I just sanded down the back off the one that I have, and sanded down the fronts of the hair, because I saw it on the Captain Marvel figure, that, well, a couple of people actually use this hairpiece for Captain Marvel, and it works well for when she has long hair, right? When it's shortened to be like that, but then I thought, it works for John Lennon. Yeah, so that's John Lennon from the Beatles. And as you can see here, my next figure was Ringo Starr. So yeah, with Ringo, his outfit in that Hey Jude music video was just mental. It was this big green suit with this frills on it and everything. And then he had this crazy like hair from back whenever, like the 70s or whenever it was when they recorded that. So yeah, and also the reason why I was making him from Hey Jude is because that's my favourite Beatles song. Like, I've listened to quite a bit of their music, but yeah, that's got to be my favourite. So Ringo, right, what I did is, I'll start from the bottom up again. I had to paint this entire suit in my own green colour, this lighter green, because I think Lego makes a similar green to that, but I didn't have any of the pieces. I didn't have any light green pieces, I just had regular green, so I used those as bases, right? And also, like, even then I would have to be, I don't think this actually is my own green actually, I can't remember. I think I bought a green from like a hobby shop a while ago, and that was the green. I can't remember if I mixed some colour into it or if that's just a straight green. So yeah, I did that, and I painted white shoes on like John, because I'm pretty sure he has white shoes in the music video. So yeah, then what I did after that is I sculpted on like the suit section that like protrudes on both sides, and then what I did is, this bit was the hard part. So I flattened out a bunch of sculpting clay, green stuff to be specific, and I left it there to dry for a while, and then it wasn't fully dried, like it was only partially dried, and it was really thin. And then what I did is I cut the edges off to make it like one square piece kind of thing, but on a little bit of an angle. And then if you guys ever want me to make a tutorial on this, I need to make another figure that has this, I will, but in saying that, it was really hard. What I had to do was just repetitively fold the flat green stuff, cut that into sections, and then stick it onto the torso. So I went like from the smaller bits to the larger bits, I'm pretty sure. And then, yeah, I did that with all of that. And I think the bottom I did a similar thing, I think I just used a knife to create that little pattern down on the bottom of the shirt thing. And so yeah, I did that, 2 layers of that, and then I did a little white collar thing at the top that's part of the shirt. Yeah, and then I painted the whole thing green and then that bit white, and then I got these wizard wand things, which work, by the way, awesome for drumsticks. So yeah, from that Harry Potter set, drumstick. It's better, I reckon, than just having those Lego rod things, because drumsticks like start bigger and then get smaller at the end. And also they've got these little like knobs on the back that make it so the minifigure can hold it without making it obvious that it's like a lot thicker at the back of the drumstick, well, wands, right? And then yeah, and so I gotta say, my Ringo figure is probably my favorite one because of all the work that went into it and how it came out. Just figure wise, I reckon it turned out really awesome. But I'll show you the face and I'll tell you what I did for the hairpiece. So the head, that was difficult to do. So what I did, right, is Ringo has these I don't know, like munchop sideband things. And yeah, so what I did is, because he's pretty much got the same haircut and everything as the one from and the same face, like facial hair, as the one from the Yellow Submarine set. This is the figure from that, if you guys are wondering. What I did is, I reckon I did a pretty good job at just emulating the face from the set. I did a couple little changes. I think our eyebrows I did slightly different. Or maybe I didn't, maybe they're pretty similar. Yeah, they're pretty similar, they're just slightly longer. I painted I tried to recreate the face, which I reckon I did well, and then I just painted it all in brown this time, so then it's like his actual facial hair is like brown, not black, but it is in Yellow Submarine anyway, so yeah, that's that figure out of the way. And yeah, so with his hair though, this hairpiece looks good, I reckon, for what his hair looks like. If you search it up, it looks pretty close to what he had. And so pretty much, and I'm actually really happy with this hairpiece because I came up with this idea. There's like this Lego bowl cut hairpiece that I've got right here. That's the bowl cut hairpiece. So pretty much what I did is I continued the sculpting clay all the way around their hairpiece, like in strands, and then I sculpted like these bangs at the front of their hairpiece. Because Ringo's hair goes down like that, like on his head, like two fringe type things. And then so I sculpted that all the way around, like continuing it. Which the back doesn't look amazing, like from that angle, but if you look like straight up, it looks pretty good. And the job was a bit rushed, but otherwise, I reckon that turned out really well. And then the sideburns work because they like go into the hair and stuff. And I reckon Ringo's probably like my most like ambitious figure out of all these, like with all the like the different techniques I used and stuff. And yeah, that turned out really cool. So I'll get on to my next figure, which is George. So here's George, and with this figure I'll do a bit different. Like with the guitar for this figure, I got that from the Lego Friends set, not like Lego Friends the girls Lego theme, like the show Friends, and then they made a Lego set of it. So pretty much Phoebe in the show, she has this guitar that she takes with her a lot, and the guitar looked like, I was thinking, I was looking for another guitar, and I thought instead of just giving him another electric guitar, it'd be cool to give him like a more acoustic looking guitar. And I had the one from the set, and it actually worked out really well. So yeah, I don't know if that's the exact one he had while playing the song, but I don't really care. So yeah, it looks good, I reckon. And it gives it some difference. And then yeah, with this figure, this was a lot, like, I guess, less sculpting than the other two that I've shown so far. Pretty much what I did is I just took black legs, painted these orangey brown shoes on them. Then I took the torso and I painted the whole thing brown because it had like, I can't remember, it had like a print on there and I didn't want to erase it, so yeah. And then I took this like pirate torso piece. Okay, yeah, so I took this pirate torso piece, which I don't know where that is, but what I did with that is I saw how the shirt was open, right, and I thought that actually looked cool, right, so I painted the whole thing brown. Then I did the same like outlines the pirate shirt had. I like copied them like with paint, you know, like I did the same thing, like similar shirt design, and instead of having to like figure out how to paint it myself, I just looked at the pirate one and I did that pretty much. And so yeah, what I did right is I recreated that onto the figure, and then I painted a flesh tone like for his chest as well, right? And then I painted these pockets onto the figure, just to give it a bit more of like, I think he does have pockets on his shirt in the photo. It's a bit like hard to see. And then with the face, I pretty much, from the yellow submarine set again, I pretty much try to copy his face that he had in the set, but the only difference is in the set, if you can see, is between my one and the set one, is, well, number one, I painted cheekbones to make it look more like, because he has pretty like defined cheekbones, I'm pretty sure. Now that I'm saying that, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I think he does, because when I was looking at it, well, he did anyways. And then what I did right is I pretty much repainted the face to look mostly like it, except in this, in most of his photos, he doesn't really have a beard, he has more mustache. And I think actually in the Hey Jude music video, he doesn't have any facial hair at all. But I thought it would look a bit boring to, like, I don't know, not give him a mustache. And because this was my figures and I was making him, I just thought, oh, whatever, I'll give him a mustache anyways, because it looks cool anyways. And it makes it more, like, able to tell who he is, I guess. And so, yeah, I gave him a mustache. And then I took this hobbit hair that what I did with this one is it was a brown hobbit hair piece, because I got a couple in this like bulk buy of Lego I bought a while ago, and I actually carved into the top of the hair piece to get like a hairline and a parting, and then I sculpted all on there. It's a bit hard to see, but because it's dark brown, you know. But yeah, so that's that. And yeah, I'll show you guys. I think most people would know what the hobbit hairpiece looks like, but just in case you don't, this is one of my figures. I won't tell you who it is just yet, but this is his hairpiece. It's a hobbit hairpiece, and I used one of these hairpieces and re-sculpted the front end because he's got like more volume in his hair at the front, and also he's got like a bit of a different hairstyle, but the rest of the hair works pretty well from the top to the back, right? So yeah, I did that. That turned out well. And yeah, so that's George Harrison. And my final figure, Paul McCartney, is up next. And I'll show you that now. So yeah, with Paul as well, like in the Friends set, it also came with this cool piano piece that's brick built, and it has a little tile that looks like a piano. And that works perfectly for my setup for Paul. But of course, you guys want to see the minifigure, so I'll take that out of the way. But yeah, with that, with Paul here, he doesn't. The difference between Paul and the rest of them is like the rest of them had like custom hair pieces and a custom face, but Paul was actually quite simple because, like, I know that Lego released a head for him that looks spot on, you know what I mean? But I only had one of those, and I was looking for a hairpiece that looks similar. And to me, I was looking at like Paul's face and stuff, and I reckon the Bruce Banner head from the the Avengers Infinity War line, well, I wasn't using it right, and it looks, I reckon, quite a lot like Paul from the Beatles. And then what I did is I took this hairpiece I saw I think Boris the Moose Figs and Lego 9 used on their figures as well. That's where I got my idea to use the hair for. So I think that's where I got the idea to use this hairpiece from, because I thought it looks like pretty much like a lot like his hair, right? And I had one from that Harry Potter set I bought. Again, that's the last time I'm going to mention that set. But pretty much I got it from there, and I thought that suited there. So yeah, I know that I started up from the top down this time, which is a bit weird, but yeah, we'll just keep on going with that. With the torso, I also sculpted his blazer jacket thing on, so it protrudes a bit, and I sculpted the sleeves for that as well. I sculpted them slightly higher so I could paint the little white shirt underneath. And then the whole thing, the whole jacket, I primed with white, and then I painted in this metallic crimson color that turned out really well, and it looks exactly like his jacket. I reckon you can't really see on camera the shine that much. You can kind of see it. And then with the shirt, I think I saw a Owen Grady or Indiana Jones shirt I had, and I copied the pattern for that as well, like pretty similar to that. Doesn't really matter. It turned out well anyway, so that was the main goal. And yeah, and then I went down and I painted the whole rest of the suit. I painted that underneath, which was kind of hard to do, the thin lines. And I painted the flesh tone, which is a bit darker than the head, but who cares. And then I got these dark, I think, khaki pants and painted brown shoes on them. So yeah, and that's it for Paul. He turned out well as well, I reckon. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and that's my Beatles figures, what I consider to be one of the best bands of all time. And yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks if you've got this far, and like and subscribe, and ring the notification bell if you want to. It would be cool, I guess. So yeah, thanks for watching, and that's my end of my video. Bye.